Well, this is certainly a starting turn. We don't have Goku on the turn, but like, it's an interesting one. I don't want to get all these. There's too many physical orbs here. I don't want to. I need those for Kid Goku. Because if I do this, I guess I can grab those actually for you. That gives you the 24 key. Actually, no, that works out nicely. And then we get those for you. All right, boom. What are you on? 200k. Just don't super me first attack of the turn, please. I've had enough of this malarkey. Of course, the Super Saiyan 4 Gohan does only get the 170 leader skill from God Goku as well. But he's basically just here because of Saiyan Raw for Goku and being another character that can kind of float onto the rotation with him. But given the setup of this rotation, I kind of didn't really have a choice but to put him in slot 1. I could have taken the risk with... Actually, no, I wouldn't take the risk with Kid Goku, would I? Because he's STR this phase, so no. So yeah, and then the GT duo, obviously they don't get their damage reduction until they attack, so putting them in slot 1's not a great idea. And them getting all their supers off here is very good, because they're building up their damage reduction, and they have the damage reduction from Kid Goku's passive as well. The downside for this setup, of course, is if he super attacks Kid Goku, I just instantly die. But Kid Goku is built full dodge, but he's not going to be living a super attack from STR Goku Black, that's for sure. Double super. Come on, Goku. Give him the hands, or the staff, I guess. $121k, damn. Okay. Okay. Alright, so... Oh, he didn't super last turn. He's just going to super slot 1 and just kill Goku, isn't he? Like, unfortunately, Goku just really is not built for these slot 1 supers. Which I guess is the reason why people complain and act like he's fallen off, because these worldwide celebration bosses are just hitting you so hard. Alright, well, I'm just going to do this. I want to see some actual progress in the event. So we'll do this. Is he going to super straight away? No, he didn't. Oh, and we got the dodge. Nice. So at least that gives us the extra defense for the turn. But typical Dismal Future, can't let the player have fun. Yeah, exactly. It's this good old, the limited attempts per day, and then combined with things like slot 1 super attacks. Not being able to pick your rotations, like... Yeah, as much as people like to clown on them, I think the blue duo from the Worldwide Celebration are better than Goku in terms of doing the Dismal Future red zones, right? Because they can very consistently survive in slot 1 because they have guard, built-in dodge. But like, you take this guy in, and turn 1, slot 1 super, he dies. You take like 700k damage. Which is crazy when you think he has 40% damage reduction in slot 1, which is very, very good. But the big thing with this Goku is the fact that you basically just have to get past turn 1. After turn 1, he's got much more stats from his passive going off and the stack from his super. And then obviously... wow, he actually shares... Are they with... Oh, most of those are with them. They share 4 links. That's actually pretty good. I'm quite surprised, actually. Oh, the Whis is still active as well, so as long as you've got your guard, we should be fine. Get these guys their key. And get you those. Perfect. Alright, we should be looking pretty good here. Yeah, AGL ZAMASU has 40% damage reduction. That's not that impressive anymore. I mean, yeah, I guess it depends, because, yeah, that's the problem, is 40% damage reduction is all well and good, but his start of defense turn 1, especially considering mine is 55%, is just not very high. So, you know, 1,000,000 damage, you take off 40%, that's still 600k. And that's for 1,000,000 damage. Like, Goku Black hits harder than that. So, it's interesting to see. So we'll get to the second turn here, obviously, and then we'll get to see a bit more of how he's looking. But yeah, these guys need to get their supers off, get their damage reduction. Although they were on turn 1, right? So they've got a bit of build up now. In fact, they're probably just going to kill here, which is the other problem that we talked about in the Fusion ZAMASU video that I did yesterday, is the teams that you're going to want to run Goku on. He's got so many like powerful units on that team that you want to run in the event because obviously the boss is tough, so you want to use good units, but then you end up beating the event like too quickly. So because let's see, he's got 421k defense start of turn, so 421k with 40% damage reduction. But again, if we go back to the example that I just gave with a million damage super, a million damage, take off 40%, that's 600k. That means he'd still be taking 180k, but also extreme types do more damage to super types. So even in this slot 1 here, pre-super, he's still taking like over 200k, and that's from a super that does a million damage. In fact, so let me get up here. I can quite quickly get the... let's bring up the stats for Int Rose for the red zone. Dismal Future, Goku Black. Yeah, so Int Rose super attack does 1.68 million. So once you take 50% off of that, or well, if you take 50% off, we're still talking 800k. But Goku only has 40% damage reduction. So that means this Rose, a slot 1 super, he's still doing like 400k damage to Goku. Now, if Goku gets to super first, he is obviously going to get an extra stack on his defense. So what I want to do here is get the... what's the best way to do this? I don't want to use up too many of like the rainbow orbs and stuff, but do that. Then get the STR orbs for these guys. I don't know if I'm gonna... Am I gonna be able to get the... Am I gonna be able to get the... Actually, I should just transform them. Am I gonna be able to get the 7 orbs for Goku? That's the problem. It doesn't look like I will, but I guess we'll see. It depends how these drop down. It's 5 or 6, and he gets 4 rainbows, so he gets a lot of his own damage reduction. But all right, let's see. All right, so he didn't get supered in slot 1, so he took double-digit damage, which is good. Then we get the attack buff, so 9.3, not bad with no support. Again, 55%, mostly level 6 and 7 links. He didn't get supered. How many times has he been hit? Because that was 3. Did he get hit once or twice on the previous turn? Because again, this is another problem with this Goku. I like, when everything falls into place, I said this on the podcast last night. Shout out to the Slot 1 Super podcast. Make sure you guys check that out live on the channel on Friday nights. It'll be, the VOD is up. It'll be going up on Spotify later today. But yeah, the problem with Goku is when everything falls into place, he's awesome. Like, get hit 5 times in turn 1, tanks really well as long as he doesn't take a super straight away. Then you get the standby on turn 2, well, his second appearance, he's basically invincible as Oob, and then on the third appearance, full power comes out and he just dumps all over everyone. But when that doesn't happen, you can get into some situations where he really doesn't look that good. And again, one of the big ones, unfortunately, is taking a slot 1 super. He will take a lot of damage. So, do this. Okay, perfect. So that lines up 6 orbs for you. Yo, Cuckoo, how's it going? Mustingen, so glad to see you play on Twitch now. Yeah, I dual stream all my stuff now, so I am live on my main channel on YouTube and Twitch. Basically, whenever I'm streaming, I'm also live on Twitch. So when I stream other games on my second channel, the link is pinned in the chat. The Ningen Plays, my second channel, pinned in the YouTube chat. That's where I play other games that are not Dokkan. So recently I've been playing through the Alan Wake 2, which is super good. Absolutely loving that game. But whenever I stream on my second channel, I'm also live on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow on Twitch, that's where you'll see basically all of my content. Can't wait for Heroes. It'd be cool if Crimson Marseille's SSR was Super Saiyan Rose 2. Actually, yeah, because we haven't seen their SSR arts, have we? We've only seen their TUR arts. Yeah, Cuckoo, I believe it is the Cuckoo, yes, that took #1 local from me during one of the World Tournaments. I think it might have been the first World Tournament that Jackie Chun was available. So fortunately, I managed to go hard and get first place in the local in the next 2. Because that's the thing. When a new World Tournament LR comes out... Oh, well, there you go. We don't even get... That's the thing. See, again, I got distracted by this chat. But this is what happens with Goku sometimes, right? Like, even if we did get hit 5 times on that second appearance for him, so we could get the standby on the next appearance, we don't even get another appearance because we just won. And the problem is, somebody actually did leave a comment on that ZAMASU video saying about how most of the rest of the team, like, did all the work. And unfortunately... That's the problem with these difficult events. Like, if I bring Goku in on a much weaker team, we might get to see 1 or 2 extra turns of Goku, but then other units on the team get killed, and then we still lose. So, I am kind of seeing now, after testing him out a little bit, that is one of my biggest issues with this Goku, is the first turn is kind of a major hurdle for him. And then, you still then have to struggle, potentially, to actually get the full performance out of him that you want to see, right? Because we want to get those 5 hits, we want to standby, and then we want to get full power Goku out. But I know Omega, the event isn't out on Global yet, but people have said on JP, Omega is one of the events where you can consistently get him out in that event. But let's jump into the Red Zone ZAMASU and see if we can get him out here as well. So we jumped into Red Zone ZAMASU. Unfortunately, again, like, Goku is on turn 2. Now, I feel like with this Goku, that is another very big, like, detriment to his overall performance, right? Because we want him to get the hits in so he can go to the standby. But the problem is, if he's going to be on turn 2, I don't want these guys to do worse just so we don't kill ZAMASU too quickly. Because obviously the worse they do, then obviously the worse they will then perform, which is not good. So this, again, it just comes back to the same point that I've made a few times now, but like, one of Goku's biggest weaknesses, and it sounds weird to say, but like, he's on these really good, really powerful teams. So if we're jumping into these Dismal Future Red Zones, all the other units on the team are just going crazy. And if he's not on turn 1, like, units like God Goku and the GT duo can do so much on the first turn. When we're not fighting Fusion ZAMASU and having to worry about AoEs, some of these other characters do so much on the first turn, which is Goku's biggest downside, right? Is he's not really doing that much on turn 1. And turn 1 is his, like, biggest liability turn. But then, of course, after that is when he does go crazy, right? Like, getting the standby out with Oob. I actually had the run last night in that Fusion ZAMASU video where Oob created enough orbs with his orb changing that he just straight up had 100% damage reduction. So he cannot take damage at all and is providing defensive support to the rest of the rotation and the next turn. And then full power Goku comes out, has guard, 50% damage reduction in turn 1, drops, like, you know, even at 55% is dropping like 15 million attack. Like, once you get him past that first hurdle, which is getting the standby, he becomes absolutely insane. But it's just getting to that point, right? And then obviously here, you know, situations where we end up getting double God Goku rotation. So God Goku just goes crazy. I mean, like, I could have got 3 orbs just so we only got the dodge and no guaranteed additional. But we had so much orb changing, like, I guess maybe I should have done that, but... Alright, so at least Goku gets to attack first, which means he's going to get that bit of defensive buff. Hopefully he doesn't kill. Maybe I no, I want him to get the extra stack, right? So I should get the 4 key from the getting the 18 key super. The extra defense, because it's stacked for 4 turns. I don't know why I said 4 key, I meant 4 turns. So we'll do that. And then we will... You can't even get 7 orbs, that's awkward. For Kid Goku. Because getting the extra bit of damage reduction at the start would have been good for Goku as well. But let's see what Goku does here. So next to the GT duo, yeah, the GT duo, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, 7 million with no other support. It's pretty good. And then the first hit we take 1,000, then we get the defensive buff. So how much does this do now that he's got the buff? See, still 275k. I mean, again, I have to think about it through the lens of him being like 55%, but it's not terrible when you think about how much damage ZAMASU can do to some other units. But like, if that had been in slot 1 as the first attack, like, we'd have taken a considerable amount more damage than that, which is not great. And yeah, most of these fights are only 5 to 6 attacks on phase 1 as well, which is just not good for Goku. Like, even on this turn, like, the only slot we could put him if we really wanted him to get a load of build-up for his standby would be to put him in slot 3, which we wouldn't want to do in most situations, right? So, I do think that is a bit unfortunate. I love the fact, I've never really used them together, I don't think. I love the fact that Gohan shares 4 links with the GT duo. Because on this team, Gohan needs 2 other Giant 8 power allies to get his passive. And so obviously we have the new Goku and the LR Super Saiyan 4s. So Gohan, an interesting unit to use on this team. He's another character that can give Saiyan Raw to Goku, which can definitely be interesting. God Goku coming in clutch, of course, in slot 1 with the dodge. But yeah, to me, yeah, 275 is pretty good. 55%. He did super first, so it's obviously the best case scenario for him on turn 1 without support. You know, it's still good. I'm definitely not knocking that, but when you think about the fact that his role with the way his passive kind of works, you want him to be a slot 1 tank because you lose that extra damage reduction if you don't put him in slot 1. So he kind of is supposed to be a slot 1 tank for one of your rotations. And the problem is when you have a unit, this is one of, actually funnily enough, because he's on the team, this is one of the big problems with Gohan, Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, for like the Heroes team, because Heroes is lacking really good slot 1 tanks. So with Gohan's passive, it's kind of like, well, he's a unit that you want to put in slot 1, but he's just not good enough for slot 1 for the hardest content. And of course they super attack the GT duo and we take 666k, so that's nice. Well, let's see if we can jump back in and get Goku actually on turn 1. Be nice. I really thought they might be able to live that, you know, after getting a bunch of their supers off, but where's the team? There it is. Is there no more God Gokus? Surely not. Oh yeah, there we go.
Alright, let's do this.
I feel like the devs specifically wanted to counter him, so JP rolled on the Worldwide Celebration. Yeah, like the Worldwide Celebration events are definitely not great for him. Now, we do have him on turn 1, and we do have the Super Saiyan 4s as well. And there's no attack in slot 1, so how many attacks is that from ZAMASU? Is it 2 or 3? Yes, it's only 2. Like, that's it. On this turn, we can literally only get hit twice, and that's it, right? So it's not the craziest setup, that's for sure. I mean, Goku already has guard, so I'm just going to get him his extra dodge. I want to try and get a couple of extra turns here, if we can. But yeah, 666k, that's with them getting defense raise for the turn on each super and building up damage reduction. Although, actually, what was the previous rotation? They might have been on... Oh, well, he dodged the super, which is not great for the build-up for the standby as well. Which, you know... 55%, I unfortunately, without thinking, clicked the activate all and gave him the level 5 dodge. I don't know if I would have not done it, like for the memes, but... Because I feel like there's situations, like here on this turn, right? We already saw, based on the previous rotations, that he would have taken about 270k, or 250-ish. So we did take 0 instead, which is good, but we didn't get a hit to build up our standby, which is bad. So, yeah, this Goku is just very strange to me. Like, events like Omega that Global will be getting soon are going to be where he really gets to kind of show off, because you want the events to be that sort of older format, like the older Red Zones, where they're a little bit longer and not as hard right at the beginning, and those are the events that he will be going crazy with. But events like this, where they're shorter and are hitting you like a truck on turn 1, those are not the events that he will be good in, right? So... Oh, we're going to win this turn anyway, so I was going to say it doesn't really matter what orbs I'm picking up at this point. I should have just put God Goku first to get some defensive stacks as well, to be fair. I don't know why I care about him getting any links with Gohan or not. Because, yeah, Goku very often gets these additional supers. You've been dodging supers a lot with the 5 dodge. I mean, we've had a couple of instances now of this Goku dodging supers with the 5 dodge, which is interesting. But again, it just doesn't help to build up the It doesn't help building up the standby. And again, here, the most attacks I can get in one slot is 3. And also, we're not on low enough HP to transform the LR Super Saiyan 4s, so they're probably going to get clapped. But I want to see what Goku takes, because I could use an item to make sure that the LR Super Saiyan 4s don't die. But kind of the whole point is I want to see what Goku's doing, right? So Goku's got 463k because he got hit on the previous turn, so he gets defense for 3 turns. He then got his super, or his 18 key gives him defense for 4 turns. So at the start of the second turn, he's obviously looking a lot better. And this is all still without support, right? We don't really have any direct support units on this team. So let's see, what does he take from this now? The direct slot 1 super, 200k. But that's with type advantage. And then he got sealed, which is unfortunate. Oh, it is 4 attacks. Actually, if he doesn't dodge any of these, that's 5. So now on the next turn, we would be able to stand by. The only unfortunate thing is I'm pretty sure here, regardless of how many supers they get, and maybe if they triple super, they'd be okay. But the LR Super Saiyan 4s, oh, they got 1 super. Nice. GG, boys. 500k, let's go. This is the other problem, I think, with now. It's good for Global that Goku's coming out right before Heroes, because I really feel like he wants better Saiyan Raw allies. So with Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and Broly coming out, and normal Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and Broly getting their easy A's, he's potentially about to get 4 new, really good Saiyan Raw partners, and I feel like he really needs those for this harder content, because sometimes these guys can still do okay, but like, I mean, you saw there, right? Like, they're just not good in the new Red Zone stages anymore. So, but let me know what you guys think down below. I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku is cool, but the new Red Zone stages especially are just not very well designed for him. So I think I'll do a video after this. We'll go ahead and we will take him up against like Broly, Metal Cooler Core, and we'll see how he, because I feel like those events are just much better suited to him. And then obviously when Omega comes out on Global, he should be very good in that. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.